Welcome back to our Beautifies YouTube channel. In today's class, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful pleated hem sleeve. Okay, it's a really beautiful sleeve to make and it's really simple. This is something you like to learn. Kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. Okay, so to make this now, I'm going to be working with this lace fabric and I'll combine it with this ankara for the pleated part. So this is a regular long sleeve. The length is around 23 inches. So what I'm going to do is just to measure my cap size and then I'm going to connect for the armhole. So it's just a regular freehand cutting and it's a long sleeve like I mentioned. So I have connected that and then I'm cutting to shape my armhole. So this is my armhole. Here on the hem I'm going to measure around the M as well. These are around 9 inches, that's 4.5. So I'm going to add 1 inch allowance to that and it's going to give me around 5.5 inches. So I'm leaving it at around 5.5 to 6 inches and then I'm going to connect and cut. So I'm just using a free hand. My scissors is not so sharp, so I'll just manage to shape it. So now I've cut it out. For the pleat, I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches. You can do between 1 to 2 inches here, and then I'm going to connect it. So here from the hem I'm going to come up by around 6 inches, depending on how high you want it to be. 6 to 7 inches is fine. And then using my ruler I'm going to connect that together in a diagonal form like this, and then I'll also cut it out. So that is for the pleat, and I'm going to be cutting that with my ankara fabric. Okay, so now when you cut it out, this is what you have. You are going to keep it aside and that's going to be the pattern for your pleat. So now this is what the main sleeve looks like. We're going to be replacing this part with the pleat that we are forming. So here now I'm going to take my ankara fabric, I'll take it to the sewing machine and then I'm going to hem it on the lower part first. So after hemming it, you go ahead and pleat it and iron. Okay, you're going to pleat and iron, and that's what we're going to be placing this pattern on to cut it out. Pleat is created. I've hemmed this, as you can see my pleats are created now, and then I ironed it with a steam iron. You can see that it is really flat. So now you're just going to place your pattern that you cut out on it. You leave seam allowances on the side and then you're just going to cut it out. So now just like you cut it, this closed part is going to be the hem. Okay, so that's going to be the hem, and then this open part is going to be this side, just like you cut your fabric. So I'll go ahead now and just cut around it. You can hold it with your pin. So I'm just cutting around what so I have hemmed it, as you can see now, and then I've gone ahead to pleat and iron. So I just placed my pattern on it and then I cut. You can see that I added seam allowances on the side so that I can sew it with it. So what you're going to do now is to bring in your regular bodice now, and then you take it to the sewing machine and then you just sew it to the side just like this. So I've gone ahead to sew it. As you can see now, I can detach my pins from it and then you give it a good press as well. So now after sewing it like this, I'm going to bring in my bias. Okay, and then I'm going to place it on that line. You can also use trimming for that. I'm going to place it on the line and then I'm going to sew it on it. So I have gone ahead to sew the bias on it, as you have seen now. So like I said, you can also beautify it with whatever you want, and then you cut off the excess thread. So the last thing to do now is to close it up now and then sew the underarm area. So I've gone ahead to sew it and I'm going to flip it to the right side. So now I'll take it to the mannequin so that we can see what it looks like, but just make sure you iron it well for everything to come out really neat. Okay, so you can see what the sleeve looks like now. You can see the pleats that we added on the hem. You can make your pleat as full as you want, and this is what the full view of the sleeve looks like. You can see how simple it is to make and how beautiful this came out. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. like, comment and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.